Chapter 6: A Marvelous Collaboration. When Riot Games and Marvel joined forces, the result of their collaboration was the expansion of one of gaming's greatest universes through an entirely different medium: physical comics. Let's dive into this legendary partnership to see how it started, how it developed, and where it is now. Back in 2009, when League of Legends first splashed onto the scene, it wasn't exactly a story-heavy experience. The creatives at Riot created fleshed-out background stories for each of the champions as they were released, and there was an in-universe explanation for the gameplay. But there was no drive for any kind of unified, coherent lore or story in these early days. Gameplay always came first, and there wasn't much opportunity in the structure of League at the time to provide much story. In fact, Riot reportedly didn't have any full-time writers from the beginning, outside of what was required to justify gameplay. It was actually up to the designers to type up paragraph-long bios for heroes, and even that was basically only there for flavor text. Nothing created in this time took into account the greater League universe, or how it affected anything else. It was all basic window dressing. In an industry where storytelling often played second fiddle to gameplay, Riot Games took a revolutionary step in 2014, recognizing the immense potential in fleshing out the lore of League of Legends. They embarked on a bold mission to overhaul and elevate the narrative aspect of the game. They assembled a formidable team of artists, writers, and world builders, collectively known as Foundations, whose primary objective was to breathe life into the rich tapestry of Runeterra's lore. This initiative went far beyond merely providing backstories for individual champions. Riot Games embarked on a grand odyssey to explore the intricate history, diverse cultures, and enigmatic mythologies that encompassed Runeterra. From the bustling metropolis of Piltover to the shadowy depths of the Shadow Isles, every region was imbued with its own distinct identity, complete with its unique customs, conflicts, and characters. In essence, Riot Games' commitment to world building and narrative enrichment ushered in a new era for League of Legends, one where every victory and defeat carried with it the echoes of a larger, more expansive saga. As players continued to explore the depths of Runeterra's lore, they found themselves not just playing a game, but embarking on an epic journey through a world ripe with wonder, danger, and endless possibilities. Between 2017 and 2018, Riot added another facet to its narrative efforts, a series of one-shot comics. However, these weren't just the standalone stories they seemed to be. They were a strategic testing ground for future League of Legends lore endeavors. Each comic functioned as a deep dive, exploring a champion's backstory, motivations, and a defining moment that forged their path. This period saw a captivating array of champions take center stage, from the explosive antics of Ziggs and Jinx to the unwavering loyalty of Darius and the thrilling adventures of Misfortune, alongside the conflicted archer Varus, the wise Nami, and the enigmatic Rise. Each champion received their own gripping narrative spotlight. Hey Rioters, before we go on, did you know only a small crew of you, less than 5%, are subscribed? We're passionate about creating killer League content and building a strong community here. If you're enjoying this video, why not become part of our crew by hitting that subscribe button? Now, let's get back to the video. These comics weren't just about captivating stories, they were a visual treat as well. Each champion's one-shot boasted a unique art style, and this wasn't just for aesthetics. It was also Riot's way of gauging player preferences for future lore projects. By experimenting with different styles, Riot could see which style resonated most with the League of Legends community, and which one conveyed their stories the best. When it was all said and done, this series of one-shot comics proved to be a successful experiment for Riot Games. It allowed them to explore the rich lore of League of Legends in a compelling way while also serving as an undercover test for future artistic directions and promotion for in-game releases. The success of these comics likely paved the way for further lore development across various mediums, building a richer and more immersive universe for League of Legends fans. However, the distribution of these one-shots was pretty limited, and the only way you were going to find out about and experience them was if you were already engaged with League. You see, Riot's early comics were only available on Universe, League's lore repository. There was a minimal possibility that you would encounter any of these one-shots unless they were being recommended by friends. These beautifully illustrated, delicious nuggets of lore were confined to the internet, where an entirely new potential demographic of League fans might never find them. However, maybe Riot always knew that, Because while current fans of League were happy to get any small drop of lore or story out of the company, they were collecting data they needed in order to calculate their next move. In November 2018, long after the release of their last one-shot, Riot made an announcement that definitely turned some heads. In a video posted directly to the official League of Legends YouTube channel, Riot Games head of creative development, Greg Street, told us about the true nature of their one-shots. The different art styles were explored to see what worked best for the stories they wanted to tell. They collected fan feedback that pointed towards the community's desire for longer stories, and using these stories as a promotional tool for champions proved to be difficult since so much can change in the development process. Essentially, they were all tests. So, what did they decide to do with all the information they got over those 2 years? Give the fans more of what they want, and ditch the concept of using their stories as promotion. Instead, Riot made a commitment to create even more, longer-form stories to, in Greg's own words, fill out and expand upon the League universe. The time had come. Riot announced they were bringing League of Legends into the wide world of comics, and they had already secured a partner in one of the best in the business to help them realize that goal: Marvel. The House of Avengers, X-Men, and Fantastic Four signed on to handle the publishing and distribution of Riot's comics, avoiding the online-only fate of the previous stories and making them widely available on store shelves everywhere. On top of that, Greg's announcement also included the fact that the issues would become available for free on Universe 6 months after the release, just to make sure nobody was left out. All of that was fantastic, but perhaps the sweetest part of the deal was that while they had Marvel's powerhouse publishing and distributing at their disposal, the comics would still be made entirely in-house. The first books were already being written by writers Odin Austin Schaefer and John O'Brien. Between December 2018 and April 2020, Riot and Marvel's partnership produced 3 full-length comic arcs that brought us deeper into the world of League, and allowed us to become even more familiar with characters we already loved. Longtime League players reveled in the comics' exploration of these champions' lore. The stories delved into the backstories of Ashe, Lux, and Zed, uncovering layers of depth and complexity unseen in the game. This rich tapestry of storytelling complemented and expanded upon the in-game narratives, satisfying the fans' hunger for a deeper understanding of Runeterra. But the comics weren't just for League veterans. The compelling characters, intricate plots, and high-quality artwork captivated even those unfamiliar with the game. The comic served as a gateway, drawing new readers into the world of Runeterra with its captivating adventures, intriguing mysteries, and larger-than-life heroes and villains. With this great success in mind, we should be rolling in physical copies of ongoing comic series that cover all of our favorite League champions by now, right? Surely, there should be plenty of comics to buy 4 years later. Unfortunately, that's not really the case. As of April 2024, it seems that Riot and Marvel's collaboration has either ended or been put on an indefinite hold. Riot has continued to create comic series for their champions, most recently Steadfast Heart following Viego, Lucian, and Senna, and Harmonies following the virtual K-pop group KDA. However, rather than publishing and distributing physical copies of the issues, each one is made immediately available on Universe, going back to their online-only model from 2017. So, what's the deal? Does this mean Marvel and Riot will never release another collaboration? Will there never be another physical League comic? There hasn't been any official announcement yet, so it's difficult to tell. Is it possible that Marvel was beginning to see Riot as competition due to their success in multiple mediums, and they didn't want their comics to outshine their own? That seems a little far-fetched, but perfectly reasonable to speculate on. Whatever is going on behind the scenes with Marvel and Riot, at least the beginning of the collaboration must have been positive. We're still getting the world building and character stories we wanted from Riot a decade ago after all, and that's a win as far as we're concerned. And just as long as we are speculating here, we would love to see a collaboration between Riot Games and DC Comics. DC's distinctive art style could seamlessly blend with the darker themes embodied by some of League's champions like LeBlanc, Evelynn, or Syndra. Imagining these iconic characters brought to life in the pages of a DC comic ignites excitement and anticipation among fans. As the collaboration between Riot Games and Marvel Comics allegedly ended, we witnessed the evolution of storytelling and lore within Runeterra. From its humble beginnings of brief champion bios to the ambitious full-length comic, this partnership has enriched the lore of Runeterra in unprecedented ways. As we look ahead, the possibilities for further creative exploration remain boundless, promising continued immersion in the rich tapestry of Runeterra's legends and adventures. If you found this video informative and entertaining, please consider giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with your friends, and leaving a comment below with your thoughts. For more captivating content and to stay updated with our latest videos, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support means the world to us. See you in the next video.